Q, the tribe has spoken.
I gotta say, it's March. Are we canceling St. Patty's Day or do we have to wait for Christmas?
I think we're canceling it all. It's one of those things, brother. I'm grateful. I enjoyed the opportunity. But let's cancel these swaps, man. Golly.
Yeah, so jokes aside, how did it feel going out so early in that moment, and how are you feeling today about it?
Man, I was bummed because I was having so much fun. I thought it was way too soon, way too early. I feel like what I bring to the table for another tribe member is a distraction. The more they're looking at me, the less they're looking at you. So I feel like they kind of rushed their hand a little bit. But, if you're looking at it, if you watch 46 and now you're playing with me on 50, it's almost like, okay, we better get the guy while we can. And that's the sense that I had, once I've had an opportunity to process it. They got me when they could. It's gameplay, and I respect it and I appreciate it. But at the same time, we were robbed of many, many moments that could have happened. And I was having so much fun. It was different for me. The game was kind of slow for me. I was seeing things. It was just like, okay, I'm comfortable. I'm not playing this crazy, chaotic game in terms of, hey, I have to be in control. I was listening more and talking less and just showing the folks, who I am in terms of outside of the game with my work ethic, me showing up around camp, being funny. I think, the first 6 days of the game kind of went down the drain on day 7 when I drew the wrong buff. Let's just admit it. If I draw any other buff, I think I make it through and I'm safe. Or if we don't swap at all, I think I'm safe. But it's part of the game. We signed up to play in the hands of the fans. Here we go. We swapped at 21. Luck was not in my favor. The cards that I was dealt was not great, but I played them. And I played them with a smile on my face. I played them with positive. I didn't crash out, go crazy, or be upset and mad. I'm still not. I'm happy with what I've seen over the course of these 3 episodes. And I hope the fans and everyone else in the world is as well. But I will say this. That swap is what took me out. I mean, that is it. There's no gameplay that was magically happened that was spectacular or no wool over my eyes. It was the second I pulled that buff, I kind of sensed that I was in trouble. What do you do in that situation? You don't have a vote. You're playing with people who've had relationships for 7, 8 years. You're playing with folks who play video games outside of Survivor together, who know each other. What am I to do? They're not voting each other. The only real options at that point in time is Stephanie and me. Well, if you had the choice to vote Q or vote Stephanie out of the game, you're probably going to go ahead and get Q out. So it's just one of those things. It's like it was unfortunate how it happened when it happened, but somebody had to go. I can't complain about getting swapped and then having most of the folks vote for me when in my original season I was on the opposite side of that coin. You see what I'm saying? So it all balanced itself out at the end of the day, and I can't be upset.
Before we get to the festivities, can I get a little bit of this?
Now, before we get into the swap specifics, Jeff Probst, he was spitting bars at you guys. I want you to grade Jeff's rap for me.
So I think his intention and his delivery was there.
Now this season's in the hands of the fans. They're calling the shots. It's out of our hands.
But see, when you're out there, all we have is a snap, and it didn't sound nice. But I will say this. Watching it with the music, it sounds kind of good, You got to think it's Jeff Probst who's rapping. Come on. We should have gave the guy a guitar.
The rice and supplies, well, they said, no way.
It was fun in the moment to snap and to see Jeff come off the dome. And I know he's probably rehearsed it, but to actually be able to perform it, oh, come on now. I was eating that part of it up. The part I wasn't eating up was at the end.
It's time to drop your ball. Drop your ball.
Which, again, as a fan, you want that. But in my shoes at that point in time, I did not.
Tell me a little bit more about that. Once the tribes were divided and you saw who you were standing next to, give me your instant reactions.
Oh, I'm done. I'm toast. Because at that point in time, you got to remember, Angelina is number one right now on my list for many reasons. All right. Her production at camp was not up to par. But then also I figured out she was lying to me a bunch. She told me her and Mike White, well, she told a bunch of us, her and Mike White haven't spoken like 3 years. The second I get on the beach with Mike White, I'm like, yo, what's up? Are you and Angelina? He was like, yeah, we talked before we got out here. I'm like, she told me y'all ain't talked in 3 years. So then I knew, like, okay, she's lying. She's trying to downplay this relationship. She's probably doing the same thing about Kristen. We need to get her out of here fast. Looking back on it, given that, maybe she wasn't coming for me, maybe I should have played with her. I don't know. But at that time, it's like, what's done is done. What I should have done is pulled another buff.
Now, there were a lot of lies spreading around camp. We had Mike trying to tell you guys that Stephanie was the target. We had Emily telling you guys she wanted to work with you. Did you believe any of this nonsense that people were feeding you at the time?
So what Mike was saying really didn't matter to me at the time because I thought that with Emily telling me about Christian's thing that he told her about Aubrey, I thought at that moment, if I couldn't trust Emily, maybe I should be open to maybe working with Emily. And I just think Emily made a mistake. Then she realized her mistake. Then she realized like who she's siding with, who she's siding against. And she made the best decision that she felt like for her game. You got to also remember, we're asking Emily Flippin to work with Ozzy, somebody who for 2 episodes, she's only talked about getting out. All right. Then she want to work with Stephanie, probably somebody she's never met in her life. And then she's working with Q, the person that she told people before the game that she did not want to work with. Which way do you think she's going to really go? And it was one of those things to where in the game, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe she wants to split up Kristen from Angelina and Mike White because this is a real thing. I mean, if you have a threesome on your beach, come on, you have to try to get rid of that. So I'm thinking the game player in her would say, you know what? Although I really don't trust Q, I don't want to play with Q, the best move is to probably get rid of Angelina at the time, because now if I truly want to work with Christian, the way I say I do, and the way I've shown I have in 2 episodes, that opens it up for sure. When telling Mike White to vote for me, he was saying they were going to vote for Stephanie. Stephanie started to get spooked, and she was like, well, I'm just going to play my shot in the dark. I was thinking, for some reason, if they're saying they're going to vote for Stephanie and they're going to vote for me, and Stephanie plays her shot in the dark, I'm going home. So in turn, I needed Stephanie to be calm and comfortable. So I just told him to vote for me, knowing if Emily and Ozzy don't flip, it's 3 votes on Angelina, 3 votes on me, and a revote, Angelina can't vote again. So that was my thinking. And I even said this out there on the island. So it was just one of those things. It was like, okay, the plan was right. It was perfect. I just had the wrong crew.
You even tried to bluff that you had an extra vote.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that you had no vote. Did anyone buy that?
I kind of saw the writing on the wall. So now I'm just throwing out anything to maybe spook these people off of the, hey, voting for me at that point in time. But still, I needed Stephanie. I really did. Because if I come back to that camp without Stephanie, I don't, who am I work with? But I know at least if I have Stephanie, I only need one more person. And maybe that one person that would stick with me is maybe Ozzy at that point in time. And now we can, at the very least, force a 3-3. But if Stephanie goes, now I have to try to find 2 people willing to work with me on a trial where they just met me yesterday. No. So I really needed Stephanie. And for me, there's no difference in where I went out and if I make it down to 5 and go out. Only difference is you're on the show a lot longer. And I don't play like that. I don't play for the cameras. I play, I have fun, I'm in the moment, I'm raw, authentic. And I think that's what the fans like about me is I'm not there for the shenanigans to make something good for the camera. Everything that I do, everything that I say is just raw and authentic. And it is what it is. But man, I just wish that swap would have happened maybe a day later, 2 days later. Because if we could have ran that challenge with the Vatu crew, we probably would have thrown that challenge because we talked about throwing the challenge before. We would have thrown this one for sure because it was much easier to do. And we would have voted out either Angelina or Aubrey at that time because we knew Aubrey had the idol. So one day too soon on a swap and was my demise.
Q, anything we didn't see out there that you think people should know or you wished made the TV edit?
Yeah, I think going all the way back to day one or day two, really, when Ozzy gets the extra vote and I kind of give up my vote. I know a lot of folks, they've talked about, Q, why would you do that? Well, I couldn't go back empty-handed. The game that I played, my perception coming into the game, I kind of understood it. I could not afford to go back with nothing after being gone all day from my tribe. So at the very least, I had to bring something back and take their mind off the fact that either I have something or I've lost something, and I have pot and machete. If I come back empty-handed, now I have to come up with this whole story that they probably won't believe. They're going to second guess everything I say, and now it puts a bigger target on my back. So I was never going to take the extra vote. I always needed that pot and machete. And then something else, Oz and I talked about his extra vote when he got the Vatu, and he lied and told me that he gave it to Joe. And it was one of those things in the moment I knew he was lying. Now, come to find out, he really did give it away. He just gave it to Sari and not Joe. But that also shows me Ozzy wasn't really there to play with me. Like, I told nobody about Ozzy's extra vote because I was willing to play with the guy. And to find out afterwards that, okay, maybe I wasn't really in his plans, it's like, it is what it is.